Well, hi everyone, welcome back. I've got a new phone, so I can actually see myself today. So this should be interesting. We'll see how it goes. It'll probably be more distracting than anything. So welcome back. If you're new here, hi, I'm Carrie, Lexi. She's gonna stick around apparently. You're not sick of me yet. Or maybe not. Famous last words, right? I'm sorry, it's really distracting actually, like seeing me. I'm used to having it turned around and not being able to see. So I don't know how this will go. We'll find out. I brought something to drink because I'm not even going to pretend. It's been 2 weeks. It's been a whopping busy 2 weeks. So I'm not even going to pretend this is going to be a short one. I made notes. We'll see how that goes. First off, for those of you that watched my last video, I am very sorry for the flickering that occurred partway through. That is a download issue I've been having. I think a few weeks ago, I might have mentioned it took me like 4 tries to get it uploaded because that flicker kept coming through. And this past time, by the time I got done editing everything and it actually got uploaded, I was already asleep for the night and it went ahead and auto-posted at the scheduled time. And so I didn't catch that until after it had been up for several hours, and at that point it was just going to be a hassle to take it down. I already had comments on it and all sorts of stuff. I didn't want to delete it. So hopefully that won't happen again. I can't promise it because, as I said, sometimes I film these on Sunday evenings and there comes a point where I have to go to sleep or I'm not going to be able to function at work. So depending on how long editing and whatnot takes, I may or may not be able to get everything done. Also, thank you to those of you that have mentioned me recently. I'm about 3 weeks behind on my Flosstube, so if there's been any Flosstube mentions, I haven't had a chance to hear those. But if there were, thank you. But I do know that Ashley, the Stitching Penguin, and Mad Morty both mentioned me on Instagram. Ashley mentioned me in her stories, and Mad Morty mentioned me for the July Stitching Challenge on her stitching soundtrack, which it was really nice to know that I'm on your stitching soundtrack, so thank you for that. Yes, thank you for those. I really appreciate it. It's nice to know that people are actually watching and enjoying seeing what I'm working on and what I've purchased recently. All right, that's enough of the introductory stuff. So basically, next thing I will jump into is the whips. No, first I have a fully finished object for you. I don't actually have the object in front of me because, as we all know, I am super duper impatient. And so I have already gifted it. But I did FFO Defying Gravity, and I actually presented it to my boss, and she really liked it. And here, okay, this time I was unhappy with the framing, and it's not me. I know I can be kind of hard on myself in terms of like not being happy with how I framed it, whether it's not centered or whatever. Usually it's not centered. This one is not me. I ordered a frame and custom mat, and it was supposed to be cut to a 6x9, and my picture was exactly a 6x9. And I was like, well, okay, it's probably gonna overlap, but there's like 3 stitches worth of black all the way around. So maybe it'll cut off like the very corner of a word. Here is what it looked like. And as you could see, there were quite a few places where it cut off almost half a letter. So it was not a 9x6. But I didn't have time to do anything about it. So I didn't. I told my boss that if she's not happy with it, I am happy to reframe it at another point in time. But I really wanted to get it to her because we overlapped only by one day in the office. She was coming back from a vacation and I was leaving on a vacation. And so I wanted to be able to give it to her that day. And since the package was lost, so I don't know if I got a chance to tell this because since it's been 2 weeks, I don't know what I've told you and what I didn't. I ordered the frame. Amazon delivered the frame somewhere besides my house. In my neighborhood, I have a address twin, which they have my exact same house number, but it's a different street. And then I have, like, say my address is 2233. There's also like a 2332. So packages tend to not get where they're supposed to go all the time. And so that's what happened. So it supposedly got delivered on like a Thursday night. I was out of town all weekend and it showed up at my house Monday night. So I just had Tuesday night to frame it before I had to get it out. So I didn't have any time to do anything about it. But it got done. She liked it. I mean, it is what it is. Okay, so that's my FFO. Whips. I got some. I actually got a lot done. A lot more than I thought I was going to get done since I was doing so much traveling. My niece and nephew actually let me work on cross stitch. I didn't ever think that would happen, but because it did, I've got a bunch done. So the first up is, actually before I do that, I'm going to talk about Crystal Academy a little bit because I mentioned that I joined it. So I just kind of want to briefly mention the whips that I am going to be using for Crystal Academy. And unsurprisingly, most of them are the Christmas gifts. So the first spell, which is I missed this time around, but there's two week periods for each spell. So I'll get it next time. The first one is going to be We Do Disney. The second one is Cinderella. The third one is Grimm's Fairy Tales. The fourth one is Be a Sunflower. And then fifth and sixth, I don't have, because those are the 4 Christmas gifts. I pulled out some just other random works, and the ones that I picked were The Witch's Spell by Autumn Lane Stitchery and The Zodiac Stitch Along by Tiny Modernist. So I will be working on those. Actually, this week starts the 2-week period for The Witch's Spell. So I'll talk more about that when I get to plans. But those are the 6 whips I worked on. So 3 of the things I'm going to show you were for Crystal Academy. So they got at least 750 stitches done on them. And yeah, we'll go ahead and jump right in. The first one being Grimm's Fairy Tales. And the last time I showed it to you, it looked like this. Oh, I guess I should actually show you Grimm's Fairy Tales. It looks like this. And here is where I am now. So here's the whole thing. And then I'll zoom in on the top so you can see where I'm working on a Rapunzel here in the center. And it's about a little over half, not quite 3/4 done. So that was the 750 stitches that I got in. Was basically, I think last time I had the A done here, so then I got all the B, C, and D done, all of these motifs done, and then I started in on the tower and the witch and the prince. So yeah, this one will probably get a decent amount of love, if not in the near future, then in August, because this is my oldest whip. So for magical stitches, this if I don't have anything else that fits the prompts, it's gonna be this one. So it should get a lot of work. I also think this might be my next one. After I finish Cinderella, this might be the next one that I just buckle down and go for the finish on. Next up, and these are not in the order that I worked on them, because this is the one that I just got finished, but this is Be a Sunflower. And it's been a while since I got this one out. So the last time you saw this one was in the Whip Parade, and it looked something like this. And 750 stitches later, here's what I have. I am really loving the way that this one is turning out. I think the colors on this fabric are just phenomenal. And I'll give you a little bit closer so you can see that. So I've got the top flower done. What I did is I worked my way up from here like I do. And so I've got the top flower done and this, so I'm working on a flower coming down in here. This is deceptively bigger than it looks. I think this, I've got more left on this than I do on Grimm's Fairy Tales. It's hard to tell because this is not in Pattern Keeper, and since it's not a full coverage, it's hard to tell what's still left. And that's the problem I'm gonna have on these last three after Cinderella's done, is since none of them are in Pattern Keeper and they're not full coverage, trying to guess how much I need to do per day to get them done before Christmas is gonna be a challenge. The fabric for this one is Night Sky Brandy in a 16 count opalescent from Mystic Fabrics. Next up is Cinderella. And I have a page finish on this one. I'm really, I love this one more and more the more I look at it. I will just stare at this one for a while. Anyway, when you last saw it, it looked like this. And with page 2 finished and page 3 started, here's where I'm at now. Isn't this absolutely gorgeous? I just absolutely love this one. I think it's so, those motifs are just so pretty. I'm starting to fill in up here on her head. I've got some more stars out here that I'm gonna have to do. It's a pain in the butt to stitch because it's all little, like, color switching so much. And I'm a little bit behind. I fell behind on this one when I finished the page, when I got buckled down and got the page finish on Deal Struck. So I lost some on this. It used to be I had to do 103 stitches a day to have this done on July 31st, and now I'm up to 113, and that was before I didn't get a chance to work on it last night. So that's assuming that I get another 226 done this evening while I'm editing. Probably not gonna happen. But I'm hoping I'll get to catch up on this, and I'll get more into that when I talk about plans. And I need to put a note, because I forgot to put down why I think I'm gonna get a lot done when I talk about plans. But there's Cinderella. Look at it. Oh, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. I make these as gifts and I really just want to keep them for myself, but I don't want to go through all the stitching again. All right, I need to write that down on plans. Okay, let me write that down. All right, I'll remember to talk about that. Let's see what else. I talked about that, that. And then the last one is, of course, Deal Struck. And the last time that you saw this one, I had just finished page 1, all the black all the time. And so it looked like this. And I didn't get as much done on this one as I did on any of the other ones. They all got 750. This one's coming in at about 600 stitches done. But here's where it's at. And so basically I've gotten to the end of page, this is the edge of page 2. So here all the way down, This is page 2. I'm conflicted. I'm a little worried about this one. I don't see a hand in this. I'm just really worried that this is not going to turn out. But I'm going to be calm, and I'm going to try to trust the designer because they've got a lot of good reviews on Etsy. My concern would be that this was just run through a pattern conversion and it wasn't cleaned up at all, and that it's not going to look very true to the picture. But they have a lot of good reviews on Etsy. The mock-up in Pattern Keeper, when you pull it up, looks good. It doesn't look exactly like the picture, but it looks good. It looks better than I would expect from looking at this. And I need to remember also that it's done in the style of like an oil painting. So there are going to be some like unusual like colored areas that are supposed to represent like brush strokes and things. So I'm going to try to keep calm and not worry too much and just trust the designer and keep going. But yeah, here's where it is. When I hold it up like that, you can really see the white through the black. Ugh. Fortunately, it's made to be viewed further back like this. So, trucking along, I'm at about 10,500 stitches out of 202,000 done. 5.2% done. All this much fabric needing to go. Still roughly on track. It's hard to tell exactly. I might have lost a day or two somewhere, but I'm still roughly on track to finish this in November of 2026. And unfortunately, no, that's not a misspeak. 2026. So that's what I got done in the past 2 weeks. Not a ton of projects touched, but what I did touch, I got a lot done on. Plans for the next week. Are you coming back? Or are you just gonna sit down there? No, you're coming back. All right. Oh, it's time. It's time for the weekly spin around. Brush me with your tail and make annoying noise. Don't you sigh at me. Hey, lay down. Lay down, I said. I'm gonna check my notes while you're being a brat. There's nothing here you haven't seen. Ugh. All right. I really wish you wouldn't do that. Okay, so plans for this week specifically. I'm going to keep working on Cinderella and Deal Struck, and my Crystal Academy whip is going to be The Witch's Spell from Autumn Lane Stitchery. I love this one. So we're getting a little bit of Halloween in July. Boop. The other thing that I'm going to try to do, fortunately it's Dark 13 and that's a Halloween one, so working on that would cover me for Dark 13. But I might also pull out Stitchonomy's Halloween Stitch Along, because I'd like to finish that before I work on, or before the next one starts. So that's further down the road plans. I signed up for Stitchonomy's Halloween Stitch Along. And if you're interested in signing up for that, it's stitchalong.com with a hyphen between stitch and along. And you have until September 3rd to sign up for it. It's completely free. So that's one of the things that I am planning to do. I need to finish Cinderella and something else by August 1st so that I can start the Witchy Stitchers Cryptid Stitch Along. Really excited about that one. So I think that what I'm going to try to do is squeeze in some time. Why does your nose always itch as soon as you start filming? At least mine does. I don't know if that's a thing. I finished Cinderella. I'm on track still to finish that one. I have to put in a few more stitches a day. And then I think the other thing I'm going to try to finish is I've probably got like maybe 300 or 400 stitches left on Words to Live by Part 9. So try to finish that one. The Enablers Cross Stitch group is hosting a mug rug quilt along. So we're making a little like mug sized quilted piece just to learn how to quilt. They've got the tutorials up and I don't have time to do that right now, but I'm starting to gather the stuff to do that because obviously with the Tiny Modernist, I'm planning to eventually turn those into a quilt. So I should probably learn how to quilt. So I figured this is a nice way to get started. It's just a little small thing and I can work on it and get some practice and some experience in doing a quilt. And her head just keeps getting lower and lower and lower. I don't know why she's got her nose buried in my knee. And the reason that I think I'm going to get a lot of stuff done this week, got some stuff coming up. This coming week, starting on Wednesday night, I think, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th. The 15th through the 19th, I think it is the, I should probably check that so I make sure I'm online on the right time. The Black Needle Society 2021 Digital Retreat. The theme is the Night Garden. I'm obviously not taking Wednesday and Thursday off of work, so I will just be participating in the evenings those 2 days, and then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday I'll participate in most things, but I have I have a life, I have other things I gotta do too. But that's why I think I'm gonna get a lot of stuff done. I am actually not planning to start the pattern that came in the retreat box because, like I said last week, my goal is no new starts until I finish 2 old ones, with the exception of the Cozy Cafe Sal, which I'm starting in September with my friend the Cooking Nerd, regardless of what I've got finished or going. So yeah, I'm not going to start it, so I'm going to, some of my current whips will actually fit some of the themes. Other times I'll just take penalty stitches. I mean, let's be real, I never win anything anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I'm not going to, how many entries into the drawings I get, I'm not going to win. So I'm just there to have fun. But having the, basically concentrated 2 hour blocks of stitching time throughout the weekend should be helpful. And then the weekend after that is 24 hours of cross stitch. So I'm going to have 2 weekends where I have focused periods of stitching and no other conflicts. So yeah, hopefully I will get a lot done. Stupid itchy nose. Stop. So I think that's all I have to talk about for plans. Yes. All right, haul. I have a ton, y'all. And there's stories behind some of it. So the first piece, a couple little ones. My fabric of the month from Mystic Fabrics came along. Normally I'd say spoiler alert, but it came while I was in North Carolina, so it's been here a week, so I'm sure most other people have gotten theirs. But if you haven't gotten yours yet and you don't want to be spoiled, go ahead and look away. This is Peony, and it's just a delightful light pink. I like it. I don't know yet what I'll put on it, but it'll go in the pile. Also arriving for me from Mystic while I was gone is the next installment in the Tiny Modernist Zodiac signs stitch along. And so there's Leo, Then there's the whole thing. As a reminder, I'm still on Aquarius. Yeah. But this is a Crystal Academy prompt, so next week I'll work on this. Then I got a birthday gift from a friend of mine that has been on back order for quite a while. I got Stephanie Rohr's Feminist Cross Stitch. And I'm not going to do a flip through here because if you haven't seen this one yet, I don't know. I know it's been out for a while, but I've been wanting this one and my friend got it for me for my birthday. And it was on back order, but it came in, and so it was sitting at my desk, and yay! I went on a little mini spending spree. Because I participated in my first ever Haid sale, and I forgot those, so I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back with Kindle in hand, so I can actually show you my haul from the Haid sale. I kept myself to 2 patterns, and I really thought that was going to be a hard thing to do. I had it narrowed down to 4, and I had some coworkers help me pick out just 2. So the first one that I got is Minnie Got a Secret, and the artist is Chris Ortega. So there is that one, and you've still got the glare, but it's not nearly as bad. So I got that one, and I got Reader's Paradise, and this artwork is by Amy Stewart. So very excited about both of those. Then around the same time, I was on Etsy and I found a couple other things that I wanted. And the first one was the Quirky Quakers Mythical Creatures set. And I think it's Michelle Bendy Stitchy had a stitch along not too long ago with these guys. It was hashtag Cryptid Quakers Sal or something like that, which is where I saw them, but I didn't have them at the time, and now I do. So there they are. It's just, there's the 3 of them. There's Bigfoot and a unicorn and Nessie, and I'm just excited to have those. Little fun yet weird fact, my hometown that I grew up in is recently decided that they want to be like the Bigfoot capital of the Midwest or something. And I said it's my hometown. I grew up there. I lived there for like the first 22 or 23 years of my life. And I never heard word one about Bigfoot. But now suddenly they are like the Bigfoot capital of the Midwest, self-styled. So I don't know what's going on there. But so Bigfoot is kind of irritating to me now. But whatever. And then the other one I got that I was super in love with and just felt like I had to have it this is from Taylor and Cromwell, and it is the Cell Block Tango, which is one of my favorite musical songs of all time. And it's got all of them in the cells. And you can't really see it here, but I'm going to put the link to all of these things down in the show description, and you'll see, like, you pop that gum one more time, and you've been screwing the milkman, and just all of those things are here, and I love it. So, that brings me to my Stitchy kindness story for the week, because I bought all of that stuff. And then I had like 0 money left to spend on cross-stitchy things because I'm trying to be better. And right after that is when the Witchy Stitcher announced the Cryptid Sal. like literally same day. So I was like, well, I can't afford to do this right now. I'll have to save up and I won't be ready when it starts, but it's fine. I'll do it eventually. And so I was telling my friend, and my friend needs a nickname. Like, you know, I've got the cooking nerd and the nerd twin, an auntie cat lady. But so this person needs, I guess, a nickname as well. Let me turn my light back on. Because I talk about them a lot. And this is the person that I am going to be giving, that I made Sebastian for, who is also going to be cosplaying Sebastian with me in a couple months now. The event catalog for Gen Con came out this week, so really excited. It's starting to feel like it's actually going to happen now. So I'm just going to start calling them Sebastian. Obviously not their real name, but I mean, I gotta have identifiers. So Sebastian is a huge cryptid fan. They dressed up as Mothman last year for Halloween. And like, they're into cryptids. So I was telling them about this because I knew that they would be just as excited as I was about this stitch along. And I said, yeah, but it'll probably be a few months before I get into it because I can't afford it right now. It's just a little bit, I just spent all my money on the Haid sale, and so we were talking more, and they're like, you know, can I see it? And I'm like, well, I mean, there's not a lot there, but I sent them the link to the Witchy Stitchers website, and like went back to my desk, went on with the rest of my life because we work together. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned that before. And like 10 minutes later, they came by my desk and they're like, I ordered that stitch along for you. So there was my stitchy kindness. And yes, I really appreciate it. It's not 100% altruistic because they want to see the cryptids, but really they didn't have to do that. And it just made my day. So, you know, when you've got good friends, they enable you, even if they have to force you. So I will be participating in the Cryptid Sal from the beginning on August 1st. And I actually already have my fabric picked out. Benefit of being in 2 fabric of the months is I literally just had to go to my closet and pull one out. So I'm all ready to go. But yeah, that was my stitchy kindness. And I have plans with that one because when I was going to visit my brother in North Carolina, I drove right past Point Pleasant, West Virginia. And for those of you who are not cryptid fans or very familiar with the geography of the southeastern United States, Point Pleasant, West Virginia is the birthplace of Mothman. So, turns out it's about 4.5 hours from my place. So when we get to Mothman, I'm going to Point Pleasant and I'm taking my whip with me, and we're going to get a picture in front of the Mothman statue in downtown Point Pleasant. Hopefully I will be able to get someone to go with me because I need someone to take the picture. But I think it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. It's just kind of a crazy fun thing. I'm like, it's close enough. I mean, yeah, it's 4.5 hours each way. It's probably, to get any enjoyment out of it, it's going to have to be an overnight trip, but that just means I can stop at a needlework store along the way or something else. There's also a huge international grocery store not too far from there. So I can go get some unusual food and some stitchy stuff and go look at the Mothman Museum and take a picture of my whip in front of the Mothman statue. It's probably, most people would think that's a cheesy, stupid thing and a stupid reason to drive 4.5 hours, but I'm excited about it, and I guess that's all that matters, right? So, all right, I think I got everything done from haul. Yes. Okay, so that is all of the Stitchy stuff. So if that's what you're here for, then this is where I bid you have a great week, and I will see you hopefully next time. If you want to stick around for media and pop culture and for a life update, again, strap in because it's going to be a long one. Reading, watching, listening to pop culture general items. I got through a lot because I had 9 hours each way in the car. So I finished 2 whole books. My trip to North Carolina and back. I finished Bloodbound by Patricia Briggs, which is the 2nd book in the Mercy Thompson series. I am still liking that series a whole lot. The nerd twin really hit a home run with that one when he recommended it. And as soon as I get done with some of the other stuff I'm working on, I'm probably going to go ahead and get book number 3. But it had a wait list, and so I needed something right away. So the next one that I signed up, or the next one that I read was Baubles and Broomsticks, which is the 8th book in the Vampire Knitting Club series, which I've talked about those before that I love. And it was a really good installment. It was really cute. It's about a 6 or 7 hour read, so it didn't even take me the whole way home. But yeah, really still enjoying both of those series. They are very different feels. The Mercy Thompson series is a lot grittier. It has a lot more world building in that there are several different races of preternatural creatures. There are fae, there are werewolves, there are vampires, there are skinwalkers, so there are ghosts. So there's a lot of world building there in all these different communities and how they operate and how they interoperate and how they operate with the mundane world. So there's a lot more there, and it's a grittier, edgier series. Vampire Knitting Club is 100% fluff. It's a cozy mystery. I mean, when you think about a mystery that has a group of vampires knitting in the back room of a knitting shop in Oxford, England, I mean, it's the definition of a cozy supernatural novel. So they're cute. They're little popcorn fluff, fun type books. Enjoyed both of them. I am currently listening to, on audio, The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson, which is the 1st book in the Mistborn trilogy. And I am enjoying it. I'm having a little bit of a problem, though, because I'm listening to it on audio. And the narrator is the same man who narrates the male portions of the Stormlight Archive books, which is another Brandon Sanderson series. So it's not a surprise. So it's the same voice, and one of the characters in the Stormlight Archive, one of the main characters, there's a bunch, but one of the characters in the Stormlight Archive is Kaladin, and then a lot of the characters call him Cal, and one of the main characters in the Mistborn, at least in the Final Empire, the book I'm reading right now, is Kelsier, and they call him Kel. And so Kel and Cal, and a lot of times it just kind of makes my brain hurt for a minute. But other than that, it's a really good book, and I'm really enjoying it. And I really do like the narrator. Michael Kramer is his name. So I am I'm listening to that one. I am reading Small Gods by Terry Pratchett. It's the 13th or 14th book in the Discworld series. I'm just getting back to those as little light, fluffy palette cleansers in between some of my other bigger books. To kind of, I need to get back on them. There's 40 some, and I'm in the teens, low teens. So yeah, I need to get back to work on those. And then the last one I'm reading, and it's good for just when I have just a quick few minutes, is, it's this one, it's Bad Days in History. A gleefully grim chronicle of misfortune, mayhem, and misery for every day of the year. And it's a nonfiction book, obviously, and it's literally like it's every day. So here's April 5th and April 6th. And this is why it's good for when you have just a few minutes, because they're literally just like, I mean, there's April 5th for you. And then here's the start of April 6th. And I think the longest one I've read has been like a page and a half. So I'm already in May, I think. Yeah, I'm already on May 5th and I just started it this week. And I'm really liking it because they didn't go with a lot of the obvious things. Like with the Ides of March, they didn't talk about Julius Caesar. Instead, they talked about how, I think it was Tsar Nicholas, when he was deposed. They didn't talk about the Titanic on April 14th or 15th, whichever day that was. Instead, like 4 or 5 days later, they talked about how like the general manager of the White Star Line was like, that basically destroyed his life. Yeah, they just, they tend to talk about like smaller little trivia things that you might not have known about. And I'm really enjoying it. So, Bad Days in History. Again, I don't really have anything for you Flosstube-wise because I am 3 weeks behind because I have been traveling, and that has been the thing that has suffered. I honestly got more stitching in than I thought I was going to. But I had no illusions that I would get any Flosstube in. So I'm going to be trying to get a little in every night this week that I get a chance to stitch. But I don't even see myself getting a chance to stitch every night this week either. So I don't know. Watching. Been watching Loki. I'm still loving it. So we've got 1 episode left. I think they've done an excellent job with this show. I've been very happy with it. I'm wonderful. I've really loved it. Alongside Loki, I have been watching WandaVision because I did not watch that when it came out. And I am up to the final episode on that one. So I've seen the first 8 episodes. So I'm up to the final episode on that one. So this week, Wednesday night, I get to watch the finale of Loki and the finale of WandaVision. And I'm really excited about it. And then the big one, I just got home from the movie theater and I saw Black Widow. I really liked it. It was so good. It's maintaining spoiler free because it's pretty obvious. I think they actually released this much like beforehand. It is set in the period between Civil War, or it's set in the period immediately after the events of Civil War. So if you've seen Civil War, it doesn't matter if you've seen the rest of it. You can follow along with what's going on. With the exception of the end post-credits scene. I thought it was really good. It was really well done. There was a lot of, I think Marvel does an excellent job of balancing humor with action, with drama, and I thought the humor in this was great. I mean, I can't say a lot about it because I don't want to do any spoilers because it literally came out 3 days ago. So it's not like, well, you should have seen it by now. It's only been out a few days. So yeah, but I really enjoyed it. Post-credit scene was really interesting. I think that they're setting up... Nope, I'm not even going to say that much because I worry about spoilers. But I can see where they're setting up one of the next vehicles in the franchise. But I'm not going to say which one because that'll give away part of the scene. What? Okay, some folks need to see this so I can talk about it because I need to talk about it. Yeah, so that's where I'm at reading, watching, listening to. File under things I'm not sure how I feel about. The last 2 weeks there's been an announcement for Good Omens Season 2. I love Good Omens is one of my favorite books of all time, and I really liked the series. I'm a little interested and a little frightened that now we're going to be off book. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I guess that David Tennant and Michael Sheen are both signed on for another season, so I'm excited about that. And I took some comfort in the fact that, and I thought this was the greatest clapback. Somebody tweeted when this was announced, they tweeted, but season 2, what are they just going to make it all up? And Neil Gaiman tweeted back, well, that's kind of what I did with the first book, so yeah. So, point taken. It's not like it's someone else that is coming in and doing this. Neil Gaiman is going to write it. So, I don't know. I guess it should be okay. I hope it's going to be okay because I love that. I love it so much and I don't want to see it messed up. So that's filed under things that I am conflicted about. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see in quite some time. But, I mean, at least we have the comfort of the original creator still involved in it and not having been forced out by the production company. Looking at you, live action Avatar: The Last Airbender. Yeah, I need something to look excited to be excited about, and so that, and then I think the new live action Wheel of Time also I'm cautiously optimistic about. So that's media. This week I'm hoping to get Flosstube done, finish Loki, finish WandaVision, start Captain America and the Winter Soldier, and then I need to finish Fairy Tail so I can move on and watch some other anime. Life updates. I've been traveling. I went to Michigan for a few days, hung out with my dad. We had the nephews overnight. Came back, worked for 3 days, and then was back in the car headed to North Carolina to see my other brother and my other niece and nephew. I had a really good time. We didn't do a whole lot. It rained a ton. I was completely amazed about the fact that I drove 500 and some miles and it rained the entire way. I kept saying, I'll drive out of it. You know, it can't last forever. Like, it can't be raining all across the entire eastern half of the United States. I will drive out of it eventually. I never drove out of it. It was miserable, because I didn't know where I was going and I was driving through the mountains. So it was kind of a frustrating experience. But I got through almost the entire audio recording of Bloodbound. So, I mean, trade-offs. So it rained a lot, so we didn't do a lot. We hung out at their house. That's why I was able to get a lot of stitching done, because we had a lot of movie time. We watched... I had never seen Luca before. I've now seen it 7 times because it's my 2-year-old nephew's favorite movie. And there was a period where we watched it 3 times in a row. Like, it got over and he looked at me and goes, again! So we started it from the beginning. So we watched that, and then I saw most of Raya and the Last Dragon. I fell asleep during part of it. And then when the kids would go to sleep at night, my brother and my sister-in-law and I were watching Supernatural, and we got through a large chunk of rewatching season 6 or 7, the one with the Leviathan. So that was a lot of fun. I hadn't seen that season in a while. I still have like 3 seasons to go before I'm done with that. We did get to go see the fireworks. They were actually like a block from their house. So we got to see the fireworks in Kernersville, North Carolina. And I don't really have a lot more to say about that. I had a great time. I don't get to see them nearly as much as I would like. And so it was fun to actually see them. And it was a nice break from the adventures that I was having at home. So remember I said I was home for 3 days. So I got home Sunday night. I worked on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And then Thursday, I drove to North Carolina. Well, Monday, major storms rolled through here. And as I'm getting near my house, a notification pops up on my phone that my community message board has lit up that there is no power in the community. And I'm like, well, that's fine. Well, the problem is that my community is a gated community, and the lightning strike damaged the backup battery in the gate. So I couldn't even get into the community. And I sat outside in my car in the driveway in front of the gate, along with like half of my neighborhood, until the power came back on because the gates wouldn't open. And meanwhile, poor Lexi is in her crate, has been all day, and I can't get in to take her out or do anything. I'm just sitting in like 90-degree heat, waiting for the gate to open, waiting for the power to come back on. And I sat for over an hour. So that was Monday night. And then Tuesday night, I had a dance lesson with the Nerd Twin. And I knew I was running low on gas, but I didn't want to go get gas because I knew I was going to, I didn't want to get a ton of gas because I knew I was going to fill up on my way out of town, and I just didn't want to mess with it because I got paid on Wednesday. So this is Tuesday evening. So I get done with my lesson and I get back in the car and I'm like, oh, that's right. I need to get a little bit of gas because I don't even have enough to get home from the dance studio, which is like a town over. Don't have enough time to get home, or I don't have enough gas to get home and then get to work tomorrow and back. So I need to get gas now. I left my wallet at work. I had no money. I had no driver's license either, but that's only a problem if you get pulled over, right? I had no money. Do you mind? Okay, here, look at the side of Lexi's head while I tell this story, because apparently she's going to stand here. Fortunately, for some reason, I never carry cash. I carry cash like less than 1% of the time, probably. But I had $3 in my car. And so that got me not quite a gallon, but it was enough to get me home. But after those 2 days, I wasn't really sure I should be getting in the car and driving to North Carolina because my luck was not great. But it worked out okay in the end. Okay, so we went on another hike, Lulu and I. This time we went 2 miles. We both had a good time. I think our friends had a good time with us. So hopefully we'll keep doing that and kind of building our stamina up. And then last night I had a dance retreat. And it was just for ladies. And oh my gosh, why does my nose itch so bad? I'm sorry, I don't know. I think it's dog hair. So we had a dance retreat. It was a ladies only retreat. And I'm feeling a little raw today, and I didn't expect to. I enjoyed it, don't get me wrong. I always love getting together with the ladies at my studio, and we had a lot of fun, and I got to catch up with some people that I haven't seen in a few weeks to a few months to, in one case, almost a year, because of pandemic stuff. But we spent a lot of time focusing on confidence, which I don't have a lot of. I don't know if that's come through. It probably has. Oh my gosh. Sorry, my nose really itches. I'm debating if I should turn the camera off and just itch it. What? Are you back? I just got it taken care of. Don't even touch those. Ugh. I just literally got the last hair away from my nose. Get down. Thank you. Okay. I'm trying to have a serious conversation here. Yeah, you too. So, I don't know if that's come through. I don't have a ton of self-confidence. So, it was kind of just we had to go around the room and say one thing that we're confident about. And I'm like, I am pretty much only confident when I know that I 100% know what I'm doing and I'm not going to mess up at anything generally in life. Why are you behind the door? Yes, stay out of there. So yeah, I was already feeling a little, and then we had a lesson in arm styling. And thank heavens they turned the lights off, because they said, we don't want you to look at anyone else. We don't want you to look at yourself in the mirror. We want you to pay attention to what you're doing. And because you're going to feel ridiculous, and we want you to feel ridiculous, and not have to worry about what everybody else is seeing or looking at yourself in the mirror. Just do it. But they were practicing being sensual and seductive, and I am about as sexy as a cabbage. I mean, let's be real here. So yeah, if you want to build my confidence, that's not really the way that it's gonna happen. So yeah, I'm feeling a little bit raw today, like something was exposed that I wasn't really planning on being exposed. Like, I thought I was just gonna have a good time, and instead I've got this trying to unlock my inner confidence thing going on now. Yeah, and good luck with that. But that's one of the reasons I do Flosstube. That's one of the reasons I'm here. And the fact that there are now 169 of you is really helping, because like I said, I thought that the one person that encouraged me to do this I knew would subscribe, and then after that I figured there would be 0 more. So thank you for that. But yeah, I'll get over it, but it's been kind of a weird day now after that. It's given me some stuff to think about, I think. I think on top of that, I'm just feeling kind of some general restlessness. Like, I'm kind of ready to do something new. And I don't know what. I was joking because at one point, and I don't know if it still is or not, but one of the needlework stores in my state was actually up for sale because the owners wanted to retire. And I don't know if they ever found someone, or if they decided not to do it, or if that it's still up or what. But it was just kind of off in my own little daydream, wouldn't it be nice to just buy a needlework store and run a needlework store and get to talk to people about needlework all the time and work on my cross stitch and see all the fun new stuff when it comes in. And don't get me wrong, I know it's work. I spent most of my high school and college years, I worked in retail all the way through, and even was up in some lower management levels. So I know it's not all fun and games. I know that. But it's kind of it'd be nice to do something completely different. One of my friends joked about starting a GoFundMe just so I could start my needlework store. So hey, if you're interested, no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I kind of want to do something new, but at the same time, it's probably not a good time for me to do something new. So I'm going to learn to quilt. Well, that's all I really have for you this week. Talk about shifting gears really quickly. No, it's not. Oh, I forgot this. And so the people that did haul, stupid notebook didn't have everything in it. It's sitting right here though. It's been sitting here the whole time. So hopefully if you haul, you didn't leave after I said I was done, because I'm not done. This is the Taylor and Cromwell July box, and it is Percy Jackson, Rick Riordan. And I already opened it because much like the Black Needle Society, I don't know what it is with my subscription boxes arriving on days that it is pouring rain outside. But it was pouring rain outside. So badly that I actually left work on my lunch hour, drove home just to pick the box up, and went back. I didn't even come in the house. So, stuff and things. There's not a lot of extra stuff in this one this time, but you know what? I'm not bothered by that because what there is, I love. So, first is a sticker, and this is by Soapaleaf on Etsy. And it's my favorite character, Nico D'Angelo. So it's the Ghost King. And then there's a needle minder with Percy's nickname, Seaweed Brain. A book sleeve, and it is a Percy Jackson character book sleeve. So there's Annabeth and Grover and Percy, and I think these other two are from the next set of books, The Heroes of Olympus, which I haven't read yet, but I think they might be Piper and Leo. I'm not sure. And if I'm wrong on that, and you know who they are, feel free to tell me. But the other thing I like about this is the button is Thalia's shield. So this is a medium tall book sleeve from Taylor & Cromwell if you're interested in purchasing this particular size. And then everything else is kits. So I was pretty excited about this because it's not just you don't just get one pattern this time and then all the stuff to make it. There's 3, which is why there's not a lot of other stuff. But they are all bookmarks. So, which is great for me because as you saw, I have 3 books going at any one time. And right now, this is the old slip from the library that I'm using as a bookmark. So this is 3 bookmark kits. And so the first one is Percy. And it's got inside the pattern. All of them have the same fabric, which is 18 count parchment. And then they've each got regular 310 and B5200, and then they've each got a hand-dyed thread, and these are from Stitchy Stuff Company on Etsy. So it also comes with the needle, but then this is Shadowstone. And you can see a little bit of the variegation in there. So that's the Percy bookmark, and it's, am I a troubled kid? Yeah, you could say that. And the next one is Grover. Remake the Wild a Little at a Time. And the floss in this one is called Mermaid Tail. You can see some of the variation there. It gets lighter down there at the bottom. So, variegation in that one. And again, the fabric is the same. And then the last one is Annabeth. It's the real world is where the monsters are. This is my favorite of the quotes. It's my favorite character of the three. It's my favorite quote. And it's my favorite floss because it is called Mackinac, like my home sweet home. It is spelled Mackinac, like the city, not the bridge and the island. And if you're from Michigan, you get it. There are two different spellings. And it's this beautiful, beautiful variegated light blue. And that actually is a little bit paler than it looks in real life. But yeah, Mackinac. So now for real, I'm done. Really excited about those, but no new starts. Not right now. I'm gonna try to hold to that. I'm gonna try to make it at least a month before I break, is actually what my more realistic goal is. But so there you have it. That is for real all I have this week now. So I will get ready to go ahead. Gonna go try to get some more stitching in on Cinderella. See if I can catch up that little bit I'm behind on. Again, no Flosstube next week. The next one will be 2 weeks after that. It might not be until the Monday because that is 24 hours of cross stitch and I want to make sure I get in the whole 24 hours. I may do a video diary style. I don't know, I haven't decided yet. But since I'm supposed to turn out a video that weekend anyway, maybe that's what I'll do. Let me know if you think that'd be an interesting idea. Yeah, that's it. Thanks everybody for all your likes, comments, subscribes, and mentions. They are helping me a lot. Just feel better about what I'm doing and know that it's actually worthwhile. Because like I said, self-confidence, not something I have in spades, but I'm getting better. If you're interested currently and you do a lot of Instagram following, I am currently participating in a challenge. If you're not following me at DNA Geek Crafts, same as my Flosstube channel, but I'm currently participating in Claire Stitching Corner is her username on Instagram. I'm participating in her July stitching challenge. And if you would be interested in following that and maybe finding some new people to follow, because I have found some great accounts that are also participating that I didn't know about before. It is hashtag July Stitching Challenge. And like I said, I have found some great new accounts that way. So feel free to check it out and drop by and say hi while you're there. Anyway, that's all I have for you this week. So if you like what you see, feel free to give me a like, a comment, a subscribe, drop a note, slide into my DMs on Instagram, talk to me about Loki, talk to me about Black Widow. If you want to discuss things in a spoiler environment where you don't have to worry about spoilers, really talk to me about anything. I don't care. And in the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy. I will see you in 2 weeks. Bye.